I'm Mohammed. Come on. Let's hop onto the laptop and get started.
Now we are coming to the last episode here in this Flow Designer journey. We have started creating an application where we start discussing about when do we use a Flow Designer, and now this is the last episode. I'm gonna go over some of key important features when we have in Flow Designer. So with that, I'll take you to the Flow Designer. Well, I have it. I am here on the studio Flow Designer in the social media response approval. That's what we did earlier. That's what we created earlier. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click the home button right there. So you can have the home button. Once you click there, you'll see whatever flows you have, the subflows, the actions, executions, and as well as the help. If you need any help, you can click and help. So we can talk a little bit in detail here. We know what flow is by now, subflow, actions. But one thing we can discuss right here is the execution. So what is execution? Is basically the execution is whatever execution you have. For example, you test your flow, and then your Flow Designer, you test it, and that test in each executions will come up here. See, today at least we have tested that many, and we can have all of that here. We have all of that here. What the runtime, the state, who create them, and that's the sys ID. Great. And additionally, I'm gonna go ahead and show you some of the features in the flow. Let's go ahead and open one of the flow here, auto close. This is the auto close resolved case. This is it's already active. Okay, if you want to test this, you can click the button over here, test. To see the property, you can click the property, that's the execution, and to activate it, you can click activate. And if you wanna deactivate this one, but this is already active, so it's not active. If you wanna make it active, you can go ahead and click active, and it will ask you to confirm the flow that this active your flow, and it will run every time the trigger conditions are met. Let's see what the trigger condition we have right here. So this is going to run daily at 23:30. 23:30. This is right before the midnight, right? So that's what the time is going to run. Trigger is daily, so in your 24-hour count, okay, it's gonna run. That's the time it's going to run. Okay, that's whatever time. Okay, that's the time. Whenever we have that time, it's going to run. That's the trigger condition. You said that trigger condition. What are the actions gonna happen? So the action is gonna look up case recorders. Whatever case you have, the state is resolved. Resolved relative on or before 10 days of weeks ago, and auto close is true. If there is an auto close for it, you're gonna check all of that, and then for each of the case record, the case record is going to update. All right, what it would do is it will close those cases. It will close those cases, and it's closed by the system administrator, and then you go ahead and close. See how cool it is. It might need you a lot of script to do this kind of workflow, but here you can just easily automate all that work using the Flow Designer, which is a cool feature. So that's why ServiceNow is really a number one, especially whenever you are looking to automate your processes. So if you have like one agent going through all the incidents or problems that need to be closed within that 10 days, it takes them like a day, right, to take care of all those incidents to look up. And but this, when you automate it there every daily at this time, you're gonna run, check all the records up there, and then it will close the map with that message. Great. With that said, you're going to update over there, and again you go look up the case, and with that's the condition over there, and for each record, that's what's going to happen. Now Let's go ahead and click done, and I'm going to go ahead and activate. So if I activate it right here, what will happen is every day, okay, every day, because that's the trigger condition. So I've got a trigger condition and I have got an action. Those are my actions. Now I'm going to go ahead and activate this one. I will say do not show me this again in the future, right? Yeah, so I'll say do not show me this again. So every day it's going to run and give me that work done for me. Look, my goal here is I will also want to show you that button here. So since it is active now, that the yellow button is already over here active, which is now the deactivate. So whenever, like in a day or two, if you don't want that to happen and you come and deactivate it, you just come here and then click the deactivate button. That's it. And right here the flow is green. Now every day this is going to happen. Every day this is going to happen. Now you can simulate the trigger execution flow over here by clicking test. Great. With that, now we activated the flow and then we deactivated the flow as well. Deactivate, I mean that's the deactivate. We haven't yet deactivated, but that's what will happen. So now if we go to the auto close resolved case, let's just go ahead and copy that. I'll go ahead and home, and now see auto close. Let's go ahead and see that. That's the one we have. So a deactivation flow is no longer executed even if when a trigger conditions are met. Flow executions already in progress. So what happened here is a flow execution which are already in progress will not be stopped, but not any execution will launch. So if I go ahead and deactivate this one, which is the active one to deactivate, so the one is already running, I cannot go ahead and stop them. What I will stop is the new creation. So the flow record still appear on the list, but it is active field is set to false. Okay, the active field is set to false, so you can see it over here, but the active field is set to false. You go ahead over here to deactivate because this is active, that's why. But if I want to deactivate it, yes, you can deactivate and this set to false. Awesome. That's what deactivation looks like. Let's see if we need to delete and what are the time and what are the roles required to delete a given flow designer or given flow. Why we need to delete. Okay, let's see here on the action menu. Now the delete button is not active. Okay, it's not active. I cannot delete it. So there are two things here to delete a given flow that you created. So what happened here is you must have a flow designer or an admin role. An admin role. So if you have an admin role or a flow designer role, yes, definitely you can delete a given flow successfully. And you can also delete a record in the same application scope at the current session. So it may be out of your session. Let's say this one is in the customer service. That's why I don't have that active. Even if I am an admin right here, I have an admin role, but I cannot be able to delete it. Why? It's because it's not on the same application scope. I'm in a different application scope. I can see it right here, but I cannot delete it. Okay? Even if I have a flow designer role or an admin role. The reason being is that you need to be on the same application scope. Great. So those two are to delete, no problem. Gotta be right there. You select it and then you just need to delete it right there. It's very simple and easy. But I'm not gonna advise you to delete. Always, as a best practice, I really advise you to go ahead and inactivate it. Yeah, but if you want to delete it, you need to be in the same scope and you can delete right there. Another important thing here, let's recap a couple of things here with that, because we're gonna close this session. It's been like this is the 6th episode, I believe. This is the 6th episode, and we've been doing the flow designer for the last couple of weeks. So trigger is an automated sequence of action that runs each time when a condition is met. Like I said, when you open this one, there's a trigger right here. So that's what we call trigger. Trigger, that is an automated sequence of action. Automated sequence of action that run each time when the given condition is met. So you got to put a condition right there. That means daily at this time it will run. Daily at this time it will run. The data peel. So the data peel, let's go ahead and open this one, this update record. Always, when you have an update record, you will have a data peel, because the data peel is that you need to must evaluate to true or to flow to execute. So this needs to execute, it must evaluate to true in order to execute. If it is false, it's not gonna execute it. So that's the data flow. So for that, you need to have a given record, like the states, and then what will happen. Great. Let's go ahead and see the core action. In core action, which is from action, we have the core action. What do core action is? It's a reusable operations provided by the ServiceNow in the base system. From the base system, we have got that the core action. Let's go ahead and see. I'm going to show you one of the core action. For example, action, then you have that core action over here. So this core action is a reusable operations that's provided by ServiceNow in the base system. One of good, what I like from core action is there is one request approval. Let's see, related with approval. Delete record, create updates, create tasks, get email, lookup, send email. You see, update record, wait for condition. Those are really cool and really great, that made by ServiceNow, so you can use the ServiceNow core. See, in order to do that, you might ask for approval. That's the one, that's my favorite item, because you will need approval, asking for approval in every, it looks like in any applications you need that. Okay, so that is really important from the core from the core actions, ServiceNow core. So it's a reusable operations provided by ServiceNow in the base system. I've got the base system. From the base system. Let me know which one is your favorite. There's a delete record. Like say you can delete a record on a ServiceNow table. That's also one of the ServiceNow reusable operations that's provided in the base system. So whenever you guys have time, it's good to look at what are the base system you have, so you don't need to later on spend time. So wait for a condition, for example, you can send email easily. It's a rich text one. Great. With that, flow designer is in general, it's flow underscore designer. It's a role that grant access to flow designer operation information. There is another role called flow operator as well. That's a grant you access to flow designer. Like I said, the execution detail is something I also look at whenever I test or whenever I run a given flow. So when it executes and what is the result. Great guys, so that's all I have with flow designer, going through from the first episode until now. My name is Mohammed Kamal. So if you have any question regarding ServiceNow in general or regarding to flow, and in the next subsequent episode I will also show you how to use flow designer to integrate ServiceNow with a third-party application. That's gonna be in the upcoming. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at contact@servicenowstar.com. but I'll come up with the next episode. So feel free to comment or like, as well as don't forget to subscribe to get new videos. Until we see you with the next episode, have a great day, guys. Bye bye.
That's all we have for today. Feel free to drop your comment below, or you can send me directly at contact@servicenowstar.com. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe to our channel to get more new videos. Until we see each other with the next episode, take care.